So as a fellow Sagittarius rising with my North Node in Cancer in the 8th house, I wanted to give my lived experience of what it was like the last time Jupiter was in the sign of Cancer, transiting through my 8th house. And this was June 2013 through June 2014. Now, Jupiter rules your first house. So this is about your identity, your physical body, and also the 4th house of Pisces, which is your home, family, ancestry, and foundation. The 8th house, at the end of the day, is a financial house. It is the income you share with a partner if you have one, since the 8th house is a succedent house, and it's the outcomes and resources that come from an angular house like the 7th house. There's so many more significations of the 8th house, but the purposes of my story, that's what you need to know for now. So when Jupiter entered the sign of Cancer in June of 2013, that is when my boyfriend and I at the time bought a house together. So Jupiter ruling the 4th house. And in some ways, the 8th house being shared income and resources, my resource now of having a home expanded. And because Cancer rules topics of home, that's kind of how it manifests for me. And because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, it was like a really nice house. It was a house in the Hamptons. Okay, don't get jealous because the story goes downhill from there. So December of that year, though, through other transits, right? Because this one transit of Jupiter in Cancer is not in a vacuum. There's like other things going on. And astrology is so multi-layered. Like I was also going through my 8th house perfection year and all of these other things. But we ended up breaking up that December. And so Jupiter also sets you free. It is a greater benefic, but it is there to protect you. And ultimately, I didn't see this at the time because hindsight is 2020. Losing that relationship ended up freeing me in other ways. So the metaphorical death of a relationship was the 8th house with my North Node there of my destiny. Like this was always destined to happen in this way. And because then I had to move out and find my own apartment. And if you're not familiar with rent in New York City, you have to make 40 times the rent. And so then I had to get a full-time job because my employer had to give a letter of like reference that that's how much I made in order for me to get a lease on an apartment. And so because I got this job, then my finances like tripled. I got health insurance, Jupiter in Cancer, and I was able to live on my own for the first time in a very cute little apartment in the West Village. Jupiter ruling my 4th house, a lot of topics of home and foundation and stability were also coming up at the same time as this transit. I say all this to say that, of course, Jupiter's exaltation in Cancer is going to be a positive thing because it ended up being positive in the long run, but it did take away a relationship. Because Jupiter also wants you to expand. It wants you to grow. And it can't do that if you are holding on to things. And in my case, it was a relationship. If it's not allowing you to do that.